That morning at 9:47, my phone buzzed with a text from my husband. "Happy Valentine's Day, baby. I'm stuck at the site. Can't wait to celebrate tonight. Love you." I was standing in the back office of my restaurant when I glanced out into the dining room through the glass and my heart stopped dead in my chest. He was sitting right there, just 2 tables away from my office. He was kissing a woman with long red hair like they had done it 100 times before. I stood up ready to march across the floor straight to his table. But before I could move, someone blocked my path and whispered, "Wait, I know the most important part hasn't even started yet. I'm so grateful you've stuck with me on this journey. If this story touches your heart, let me know in the comments. Where are you watching from, your city, your state? I'd love to connect with you." The morning of the 14th of February 2024, a gray Wednesday, I arrived at Evangeline's kitchen at 7:30 a.m., 2 hours before the restaurant officially opened for lunch. I was determined to spend the day prepping a special Valentine's menu that would remind my husband why he had fallen in love with me. The back office smelled of flour and cinnamon from the morning's prep. And through the interior window, separating my workspace from the dining room, I could see my Aunt Susan, who also worked as my sous chef, setting the tables as the morning light filtered through the large windows facing Magazine Street in New Orleans. I had chosen a crawfish etouffette with a rich dark for our celebration that night. Liam's favorite dish, the same one I'd made for him on our first date 5 years ago. I was halfway through my mise en place when my phone buzzed on the flour-dusted counter at exactly 9:47. The screen lit up with his text. "Happy Valentine's Day, baby. I'm stuck at the site. Can't wait to celebrate tonight. Love you." For a second I felt that familiar flutter in my chest, that stupid hopeful feeling that maybe everything was going to be okay. Despite the tension and distance that had crept between us over the last few months, I was reaching for the phone to reply when something on the other side of the glass caught my eye. Movement in the dining room. A flash of navy blue fabric. A familiar posture that made my stomach drop before my brain could even process what I was seeing. I looked up from my desk and through the window. I saw him sitting at a corner table near the front, less than 30 feet from where I stood, paralyzed behind the glass. Liam was sitting in my restaurant in the dining room of Evangeline's kitchen, the place I worked every single day, the exact place he was supposedly avoiding this morning because he was stuck at the site. He was wearing the navy blue blazer I bought him last Christmas. The one with the subtle elbow patches he said made him look distinguished. He was leaning back in his chair with the casual confidence of someone who has no idea they are being watched. But he wasn't alone. The woman sitting across from him, a woman with long vibrant red hair falling in shiny waves over her shoulders, leaned forward, her hand resting on his arm. Then she stood up, walked around the table, wrapped her arms around his neck from behind, and kissed him. It wasn't a friendly peck on the cheek. It wasn't a quick congratulations or a casual goodbye. It was a real kiss. A deep, lingering kiss that said, "I know every inch of you." The kind where she tilted her head and he raised his hand to cup her face. Exactly the way he used to touch me before we got married. The phone slipped from my hand and clattered against the wooden desk. The screen was still lit with Liam's text about being stuck at work. Time seemed to freeze in an unbearable instant as I stood motionless behind the glass, unable to reconcile the loving message on the screen with the betrayal unfolding just 2 tables away in my own dining room. My mind desperately grasped at any explanation. Maybe it wasn't Liam. Maybe I was hallucinating from exhaustion. Maybe it was some elaborate surprise. But I knew that blazer. I knew the way he sat with his shoulders slightly pitched forward when he was relaxed. I knew how he touched someone's face when he kissed them. 'Cause he used to kiss me exactly like that. There was no mistaking what I was witnessing. I was about to push open the glass door, separating my office from the dining room, ready to cross those 30 feet and confront them in front of everyone. My hand was already reaching for the door knob. My vision narrowing to a single point of burning rage when a hand gripped my shoulder from behind firmly but without roughness. I spun around, my heart racing, and found myself face to face with a woman I hadn't seen in almost 4 years. Detective Tara Brooks, my old friend from Klein University, dressed in plain clothes, a black leather jacket with her police badge discreetly clipped to her belt. Her dark eyes were calm and serious, and there was something in her expression, a mix of concern and professional authority, that rooted me to the spot. "Wait," she said quietly, barely above a whisper, but with the weight of absolute certainty. "Don't go out there yet, Chloe. I know the most important part hasn't even started." She kept her hand on my shoulder, anchoring me in place when every muscle in my body was screaming at me to run out there and destroy everything. I stared at her, my vision blurring with tears I hadn't realized were already streaming down my face. My whole body was trembling. "Tara, what? How?" My voice came out as a choked whisper. "I was having a coffee at the bar," she said, nodding toward the back counter where a half-finished ceramic mug sat next to an open newspaper. "I come in on my days off sometimes. I saw him walk in about 20 minutes ago. I saw her kiss him and I saw your face through that glass a second ago and I knew exactly what you were about to do." She squeezed my shoulder tighter. "Chloe, if you confront him right now, if you march out there empty-handed and without hard proof, you're going to tip him off. You will lose any chance to find out what he's really up to. Trust me, I've worked enough domestic cases to know that men arrogant enough to cheat on their wives in their own restaurants are usually capable of much worse." "I need to know what's going on," I whispered, my voice breaking. Tara's expressions softened just a fraction. "Then go home," she said firmly. "Go right now while he thinks you're still here working. Go through his things. His home office, his computer, his phone records if you can access them. Find the evidence. Document everything. Take photos, save emails, make copies, and then call me." She pulled a business card from her jacket pocket and slipped it between my trembling fingers. "But if you confront him now in public, without proof and out of control, he will deny everything. He'll make you look paranoid and unstable. He will erase his tracks before you even know what you're looking for. Do not give him that power." I looked back through the glass and saw that Liam had already stood up. He was pulling his wallet from his pocket and tossing a $20 bill onto the table. The woman with the red hair was already heading toward the door. Tara was right. If I went out there now, I'd get nothing but denials and excuses. But if I kept my mouth shut, if I went home and searched his office while he thought I was busy here, maybe I'd find the truth. "Okay," I whispered. "Bae." Tara squeezed my shoulder one last time. "Be smart, Chloe. Use your head and call me when you have something." The second Liam walked out the front door at 9:52 a.m. I grabbed my coat and keys with shaking hands. I didn't say goodbye to Aunt Susan. I didn't turn off the stove. I untied my apron as I stumbled out the back door into the damp, chilly New Orleans morning. The drive to our house in Uptown should have taken 15 minutes. I did it in 10. When I pulled into the driveway, Liam's car wasn't there. I unlocked the front door and walked into the oppressive silence where everything looked normal. The wedding photos on the wall, the throw pillows on the couch, the coffee mug in the sink. Except nothing was normal anymore. I went straight to Liam's home office and found the door slightly ajar. On his desk were papers, dozens of them. The document on top was a petition for dissolution of marriage from the Orleans Parish Civil District Court listing Liam Michael Mercer as the petitioner and Chloe Marie Landry as the respondent. It was completely filled out, signed in blue ink by him, leaving only the line for my signature blank. Beneath it was a business valuation report for Evangeline's Kitchen, appraising it at $2,800,000. Kept turning pages. An email from Julian Vance, Director of Acquisitions for the Crescent City Hospitality Group, dated the 3rd of November 2023. "Liam, we are ready to close as soon as you have the power of attorney. The $2,800,000 offer still stands. Make sure she is weak enough to sign before October 28th. Once the transfer is complete, we will wire the funds to your offshore account." Another email dated February 11th confirmed that the redhead contact will help with the emotional angle. She is on board. At the bottom of the pile, a printed screenshot of text messages and a contact name made my vision swim. Mia, my sister. The woman with the red hair was my sister. The 14th of February 2024. Wednesday 2:00 p.m. Home office. Liam's desk. "The house is too quiet. I've been sitting here for almost 3 hours staring at these divorce papers. The appraisal. Julian Vance's emails waiting for something inside me to make sense of it all. Liam hasn't come home. His car isn't in the driveway. He's still out there with her with Mia. And the longer I sit here, the more I realize I don't know my husband at all or my sister. The text thread with Mia's name is still on the desk, face up, accusing me. I've reread it over and over until the words blurred, hoping I misunderstood, hoping it was another Mia, some stranger with the same name. But no, the area code is hers. The contact photo, though slightly blurry, is her profile from 2 Christmases ago at the ugly sweater party we hosted together. My little sister, the one I helped raise after Mom died. The one who used to crawl into my bed during thunderstorms. That Mia, I need to know more. I need to know how deep this goes. I push myself out of the chair and walk over to Liam's desk. His laptop is closed, the silver logo catching the gray afternoon light filtering through the blinds. I've never touched his laptop before. He always said it was for work, boring spreadsheets and construction contracts. Nothing that would interest me. And I believed him. I believed everything. My hands are steadier now than they were this morning. Rage does that, I suppose. It burns away the shock and leaves something colder behind. I open the laptop. The screen flickers to life. The password cursor blinking. I type in the password I've seen him use 100 times on our Netflix account. I've 22. The year we got married and my grandmother's name. The year he promised to love and protect me. The screen unlocks. I'm in. The desktop is tidy. A few folders labeled work, taxes and personal. Click the mail icon. The inbox loads. Hundreds of messages. I scroll through the subject lines looking for anything that stands out. And then I see it. Closing timeline. Julian Vance, Director of Acquisitions, Crescent City Hospitality. Click it. The email thread drops down. A chain of messages going back 4 months. The 10th of October 2023. Liam just confirming that as soon as you have POA over Evangeline's kitchen, we can close in 72 hours. The $2,800,000 is ready for wire. Just make sure she signs willingly. We don't want legal complications. The 3rd of November 2023. Update. Timeline is extended to 90 days. Make sure she is weak enough to sign before the deadline. Emotional pressure, health issues, whatever it takes. The redhead contact will help with the emotional angle. She is on board. The redhead contact. My pulse pounds in my ears. I scroll faster. Another email. The 22nd of January 2024. Confirmed. Your contact has agreed to the arrangement. She will handle keeping Chloe distracted and emotionally vulnerable. Once the POA is signed, you transfer the business. We wire the $2,800,000 to your Cayman account. Act 47392 and you're free to start fresh with M in Nashville. Mia's table opens and cues those meal vint. Congrats, man. Mia's table. My breath catches. They are naming a restaurant after her, after my sister. The restaurant Liam promised we would open together someday. The one we talked about on our honeymoon. The one I sketched in the margins of my recipe notebooks. He's giving it to her. He's giving her everything. I click on another folder. Personal. Inside is a subfolder labeled M. Open it. Photos. Dozens of them. Liam and Mia in the French Quarter at Gulf Shores. The exact beach where Liam proposed to me 3 years ago. At a hotel bar. Her hand on his chest. His lips on her neck. The timestamps go back 18 months. 18 months. They've been doing this for a year and a half. Feel like I'm drowning. I open the messaging app. The thread with Mia is right there. Unread messages going back weeks. I scroll to the most recent exchange. The 13th of February 2024. Yesterday, 11:47 p.m. Mia. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day with her, right? Are you really going to do it, Liam? Liam, relax, babe. I'll send her a sweet text in the morning to keep her calm. By October this will all be over. You and me, Mia's table and a baby. That's the plan. Mia, I want a baby with you, Liam. Promise me. Liam, I promise, babe. I slam the laptop shut so hard the desk shakes. My hands are shaking again, but not from shock. From a rage so deep, so absolute, it feels like my ribs are cracking. Mia wants a child with him. My sister wants a baby with my husband. She wants the life I thought I had. And Liam has been playing us both. Promising me forever while stealing my family's legacy. Promising her a future while lying through his teeth. But there is something else. Something in Julian Vance's email that I can't stop turning over in my head. Make sure she is weak enough to sign. Emotional pressure, health issues, whatever it takes. Health issues. I've been sick for months since November. The nausea, the sheer exhaustion, the stomach cramps that hit me every morning. Thought it was stress. I thought it was the burnout of running the restaurant. But what if it wasn't? What if Liam had been doing something to me? My stomach heaves. I run to the bathroom and barely make it to the toilet before throwing up. Bile burning my throat. When I finally sit back, gasping, my vision blurred with tears, I see it on the vanity counter. Liam's leather DOP kit unzipped. Tucked inside, between his razor and deodorant, is a small brown glass bottle. I reach for it with trembling fingers. The label reads Ipecacy syrup to induce vomiting in cases of poisoning. Expiration March 2025. The bottle is half empty. I stare at it, my mind racing. That's what has been making me sick. Liam has been poisoning me. Not enough to kill me, just enough to weaken me. Enough to make me so desperate, so exhausted that I'd be willing to sign anything just to make it stop. Make sure she is weak enough to sign. Oh my God. I stumble back to the office, the bottle still in my hand, and open the laptop again. This time I search his browser history. Find it. Searches from 3 months ago. How to cause nausea without detection. Louisiana power of attorney requirements. Can a business sale signed under duress be contested? He planned it. He planned all of this. And Mia, my sister, my own blood, helped him. I don't know how long I sit there staring at the screen as the pieces lock together like shards of broken glass, cutting deeper and deeper. But when I finally close the laptop, when I finally stand up, walk to the window, and watch the rain sliding down the glass like tears, I'm no longer crying. My hands aren't shaking. I'm cold, lucid, focused. Liam and Mia think they are going to take everything from me. But they're wrong, because now I know. And knowledge, as Grandma Evie used to say, is the sharpest knife in the kitchen. I just need to learn how to use it. But first, I need to know exactly what Liam has been putting in my coffee every morning. And I need proof. The 15th of February 2024. Thursday, 6:30 a.m. Home kitchen. I didn't sleep last night. How could I? Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that brown bottle, the half-empty syrup. I lay in the dark listening to Liam's breathing beside me, wondering how many mornings he had stood in this kitchen, smiling at me while he poisoned my coffee. He came home late last night after 11. I heard his keys in the door, his footsteps on the stairs, the creak of the floorboards as he undressed in the dark. I kept my eyes closed, my breathing slow and even, pretending to be asleep. He slid into bed beside me as if nothing had happened. As if he hadn't spent the day with my sister. As if he wasn't planning to steal everything I own. I wanted to scream. I wanted to grab that bottle and hurl it at his face and demand answers. But I didn't, because if I want to stop him, I need to be smarter than him. I need proof. So this morning when the alarm goes off at 6:30, I get up. I do my normal routine. I brush my teeth, pull my hair into a ponytail, throw on my New Orleans Saints hoodie. I walk into the kitchen like it's any other Thursday. Liam is already there, standing by the counter in a gray t-shirt and sweatpants, the French press steaming. He turns when he hears me and smiles. That same easy, warm smile I fell in love with 5 years ago. "Morning, baby," he says, as if he didn't spend yesterday plotting my destruction. Clears throat. "Morning," I say, my voice steady. I lean against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching him. He reaches for the 2 ceramic mugs on the counter, the ones we bought at the French market. He pours the dark Cory coffee into both. The steam rises in lazy spirals. Then he turns to the fridge to grab the almond milk I like. But as he does, his other hand slips into the pocket of his sweatpants. Just for a second, just long enough to pull out something small. A brown glass bottle. The same one I found yesterday. My stomach tightens, but I don't move. I don't let my face change. Just watch. He unscrews the cap with one hand, tilts the bottle over my mug. Few drops. Clear liquid disappearing into the dark coffee. Then he screws the cap back on, slips it into his pocket, and turns around with the almond milk like nothing ever happened. The whole thing takes maybe 5 seconds. If I hadn't been watching, I never would have noticed. He stirs both mugs with a spoon, the metal clinking softly against the ceramic. Then he walks over to me, holding out my mug with that same smile. Here you go, babe. Extra almond milk, just how you like it. I take the mug from his hands, my fingers brushing his. My hands don't shake. I don't let them. Thanks, I say. I bring the mug to my lips, pretending to take a sip. The smell hits me first. Strong bitter curry. But underneath it there is something else. Something chemical. Something that shouldn't be there. I let the liquid barely touch my lips, then lower the mug. Perfect. I lie. Liam leans against the counter, sipping his coffee, scrolling through his phone, probably texting Mia, probably planning his next move. I watch him over the rim of my mug, pretending to drink, and I feel something inside me harden into steel. This man I married. This man I trusted with everything. He has been poisoning me every morning for 3 months. I remember November. That's when it started. The nausea, the exhaustion, the cramps hitting me without warning. So bad I had to sit down in the middle of a dinner rush. Doubled over trying not to throw up in front of customers. I thought I had an ulcer. I went to the doctor twice. They ran tests, found nothing. Probably just stress, they said. Try to relax. And all that time it was Liam poisoning me slowly, carefully, methodically. You okay? Liam's voice pulls me back. He's looking at me now, head tilted, concern in his eyes, fake concern. You look tired. I'm fine, I say. Just didn't sleep well. You've been saying that a lot lately, he says, setting his mug down. He steps toward me and reaches out to tuck a stray lock of hair behind my ear. His touch makes my skin crawl. Maybe you should take a day off. Let Carmen run the lunch service. You need to rest. Rest so I'm weaker. Easier to control. Maybe, I say, forcing a smile. I'll think about it. He kisses my forehead softly, tenderly, the exact way he kissed me on our wedding day. I love you, Chloe, he says. And for a fraction of a second I almost believe it. Almost. Then he grabs his keys from the counter. Got an early meeting. See you tonight. See you, I say. The door clicks shut behind him. I wait until I hear his car pull out of the driveway. Then I move. I grab a small glass jar from the spice cabinet and I pour the rest of my coffee into it. Down to the very last drop. I tighten the lid, wipe the outside and shove it into my purse. Then I dump Liam's coffee down the sink, rinse both mugs and put them in the dishwasher. I stand there for a moment, gripping the edge of the counter, breathing hard. Now my hands are shaking, not from fear, but from fury. 3 months. He's been doing this for 3 months and I didn't know. I didn't see it, but I see it now. And I'm going to prove it. I pull out my phone and search for medical labs nearby. Oxner Medical Lab, 4.7 stars. Opens at 8 a.m. I can be there in 20 minutes. I text Aunt Susan. Can you open the restaurant today? I have a medical appointment. I'll be in before noon. She replies immediately. Course, honey. Is everything okay? I stare at the text. No, nothing is okay, but it will be. Yes, I type back. Just a checkup. I shove the phone in my pocket, grab my purse with a coffee sample inside, and head for the door. If Liam has been poisoning me, I need to know exactly what he's been using. And I need proof, legal proof, the kind that holds up in court. Because this isn't just about me anymore. It's about Evangeline's kitchen. It's about my grandmother's legacy. It's about everything Liam and Mia are trying to steal. And I am not going to let them. It is just past 10:15 a.m. on Friday, February 16th, when I pull into the parking lot of the Ochsner Medical Clinic in New Orleans. I've been sitting in my car for 5 minutes, the engine off, my hands gripping the steering wheel, staring at the glass doors of the clinic. Inside my purse, wrapped in a brown paper bag, is the jar of yesterday's coffee. The coffee Liam made. The coffee I watched him poison. I didn't sleep again last night. I lay in bed next to Liam, listening to him breathe, wondering how anyone could sleep so peacefully after doing what he's doing. This morning he made the coffee again. Same routine, same smile, same kiss on the forehead. I poured it down the sink the second he left. And for the first time in weeks, I had no nausea at 9 a.m. No cramps, no dizziness, nothing. That's when I knew for sure it's the coffee. It's always been the coffee. I grab my purse, take a deep breath, and step out of the car. The clinic waiting room is sterile, smelling of antiseptic and synthetic lavender, a combination that makes my stomach churn. A receptionist behind a plexiglass window looks up. "Good morning. How can I help you?" "I need to see someone about a toxicology screening," I say, keeping my voice steady. For a beverage sample, her smile falters slightly. "One moment, please." She picks up a phone, murmurs something I can't hear, and nods. "Dr. Bennett will be with you shortly. Have a seat." I sit in a plastic chair by the window, my purse clutched in my lap. The jar feels heavier than it should. After what feels like an eternity, a door opens, and a woman in a white coat steps out. Early 40s. Dark hair pulled back, warm brown eyes behind thin wire-rimmed glasses. "Chloe Landry," she calls. I stand up. "That's me." "I'm Dr. Rachel Bennett," she says, extending a hand. "Come with me." I follow her to a small exam room. I sit down. She closes the door and sits across from me. "So, the receptionist mentioned a toxicology screen on a beverage. Can you tell me a little more?" I reach into my purse and pull out the jar, setting it on the desk between us. The dark liquid has settled. "I need to know if there's something in this," I say. "Something that shouldn't be there. Poison, drugs, chemicals, whatever." Dr. Bennett picks up the jar, holding it to the light. "And where did this come from?" Hesitate. "My husband made it for me yesterday morning." Her eyes meet mine. A heavy silence falls. "And you're concerned because I've been sick for months." The words tumble out faster now. 3 months. Nausea, vomiting, exhaustion, cramps. My regular doctor ran tests and found nothing. But yesterday I didn't drink the coffee my husband made me. And today I feel fine. No symptoms, nothing. Dr. Bennett sets the jar down carefully. Her expression is calm, but I see the sharp concern in her eyes. "Chloe, I have to ask. Do you feel safe at home?" The question hangs in the air. "Not anymore," I admit. "But I can't do anything until I have proof. Legal proof. That's why I'm here." She nods slowly, her gaze locked on mine. "Okay, I understand. We can run a full broad-spectrum toxicology panel on this sample. It will screen for common poisons, prescription medications, over-the-counter drugs, and a wide range of chemical substances. How long will it take?" 72 hours, she says. "We'll call you the moment we have the results." And yes, because our lab is CLEA certified, the results are admissible as evidence in court if you need them. He pauses. "But Chloe, if you are in immediate danger." "I'm not," I say quickly. "Not yet. He doesn't know that I know, and I need it to stay that way until I have everything I need to stop him." Dr. Bennett studies me for a moment, then nods. "All right, the test is $1,750. We can run it through your insurance." "No," I say, pulling out my wallet. I find the old credit card, the one that was my mother's, the one I kept for emergencies. "I'll pay cash or use this card. Do not run it through insurance." She doesn't ask why. She processes the payment and hands me a receipt. "We will call you on Monday afternoon," she says. "If you need anything before then, if you feel unsafe, call 911 or call me." She hands me her business card. "Thank you," I say, and I mean it. I walk out to my car. The cool air bites my face. I sit behind the wheel breathing hard. Done. 72 hours. On Monday I'll know for sure. And once I have that proof, I can plan my next move. It is Monday, February 19th, just past 2 p.m. I am in the kitchen at Evangeline's preparing for dinner service when the phone vibrates in my apron pocket. Number unknown. 504 area code. I step into the back office and answer. Hello, Chloe. It's Dr. Rachel Bennett from Oxner. Her voice is calm, but with an edge I can't quite identify. Can you come to the clinic right now? I have your results. I think we need to discuss them in person. My stomach drops. You found something. Yes, she says quietly. And I think you'll want to see this as soon as possible. I tell Carmen I have an errand, grab my coat, and I'm in my car before I can second guess myself. The drive takes 12 minutes, but it feels like 12 hours. Dr. Bennett is waiting for me in the same exam room. She gestures to the chair and closes the door. On the desk between us is a manila folder. She opens it and slides a printed report toward me. Chloe, she says softly. The results came back this morning. I wanted to call you immediately, but I needed to double-check with the lab first because this is serious. I look down at the report. The page is dense with technical terms, rows of chemical names and concentration levels. But one line near the top is highlighted in yellow. IPAC syrup detected. 15 milliliters per 250 milliliter sample. My vision blurs for a second. I blink hard, forcing myself to focus. Cack, I say. My voice barely a whisper. That's what makes you throw up, right? Exactly. Dr. Bennett nods. It's an Aimtic syrup formerly used to induce vomiting in poisoning cases. It's no longer recommended because it can be dangerous if misused. At this concentration, 15 milliliters in a standard cup of coffee, it wouldn't kill you immediately, but it would cause chronic nausea, severe vomiting, fatigue, abdominal pain, and generalized weakness over time. I look up at her. Over what amount of time? If administered daily for several months, the cumulative effects can be severe. Dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, muscle weakness, even damage to the gastrointestinal mucosa. She pauses. Chloe, someone has been deliberately poisoning you, and judging by what you've told me, they've been doing it for at least 3 months. The room tilts. I grip the edge of the desk to keep myself grounded. 3 months. November. That's when it started. I thought I was sick. I thought it was stress. I thought it was my fault. But it was Liam. Every morning for 3 months, he smiled at me, kissed me, handed me a cup of coffee, and poisoned me. Chloe, Dr. Bennett says, leaning forward, her voice firm but kind. You need to go to the police right now. This is a felony. Whoever is doing this is committing aggravated assault. And depending on the circumstances, it could be attempted murder. You need protection. I shake my head slowly. Can't. Why not? Because I need more than this, I say, tapping the report. I need more proof. I need to know exactly what he's planning. If I go to the police now, he'll just deny it. He'll say I'm making it up or that I put the IPC in the coffee myself to frame him. He's smart. He has money. He has lawyers. And he's already planning to take everything from me. Dr. Bennett's face hardens. Chloe, if he's poisoning you, this could escalate. You are in danger. I know, I say quietly. But I don't drink his coffee anymore. He doesn't know that I know. And I need him to stay in the dark until I have everything I need to stop him permanently. She studies me for a long moment, then nods slowly. All right, but promise me if you feel unsafe, if anything changes, you call 911 or you call me. She takes out a business card and writes a second number on the back. That's my personal cell. Day or night. I take the card, fold the report carefully, and put both in my purse. Thank you, Dr. Bennett, for everything. I walk back to my car, the report feeling like a brick in my purse. Proof of what Liam has done. Proof that he has been systematically breaking me down, weakening me, making me desperate, all so I would sign over Evangeline's kitchen without a fight. Make sure she is weak enough to sign. That's what Julian Vance's email said. And Liam complied. I sit in the driver's seat, hands on the wheel, staring into space. The rage I've carried for the last 5 days crystallizes into something sharper, colder. Liam thinks he's winning. He thinks he's broken me. But he's wrong because now I have proof. Legal, documented, lab-certified proof. And that changes everything. Liam and Mia think I'm too weak to fight. They didn't count on me finding that bottle. They didn't count on me testing the coffee. And they certainly didn't count on me having a backup plan because I do. I always have. Grandma Evie made sure of that. Grandma didn't just leave me the restaurant. She left me something else. Something Liam, Mia, and Julian Vance know nothing about. Something I haven't touched in 5 years. But now it is time to use it. It is Tuesday, February 20th, just past 7 o'clock p.m. I am standing in the doorway of Grandma Eve's old bedroom, the room that was hers until she died 5 years ago. I've barely touched it since. The house is silent. Liam texted an hour ago saying he was working late, which means he's with Mia. I don't care anymore. Let him dig his own grave. The room still faintly smells of her perfume. Chanel No. 5. The walls are covered in old photographs. Evangeline's kitchen in its early days. Tiny joint on Magazine Street. Grandma in her apron, flour on her cheeks, smiling at the camera. Me as a little girl standing on a stool beside her, learning to stir a roux. Miss her. God, I miss her. She would know what to do. I walk over to the old wooden dresser in the corner. On top, in a place of honor, sits her recipe book. Not the printed cookbook we sell at the restaurant. This is the old one, the sacred one. A leather-bound journal, 45 years old. The cover softened and darkened by decades of use. Every recipe she perfected is inside, written in her careful, slanted cursive. Seafood gumbo crawfish étouffée beignet. I pick it up carefully, holding it in both hands, and sit on the edge of the bed. The leather cover is cracked along the spine, the stitching worn. As I turn it over, a corner of the front cover catches on my sleeve and I hear a soft tearing sound. My heart skips a beat. No. I look closer. The leather on the inside edge of the cover has separated slightly, revealing something underneath. Not cardboard paper. I set the book in my lap and carefully peel back the damaged leather underneath. Hidden in a secret pocket between the cover and the spine are 3 folded sheets of paper. My hands shake as I pull them out. The first is a handwritten letter in blue ink. Grandma's handwriting. I unfold it carefully, smooth out the creases and begin to read. My dearest granddaughter Chloe, if you are reading this, I am gone and someone has betrayed you. I always knew this day might come. Your grandfather and I built Evangeline's kitchen with our hands, our sweat, our love. But we also built it with sacrifice. And I know that success breeds envy, greed, and danger. That is why I made a plan. A plan to protect you even when I am not here to do it myself. There is a trust fund, my child. $50,000. It is deposited at Chase Bank in my name, managed by my attorney, Arthur Pendleton. He has been my friend for 40 years. I trust him with my life and with yours. The fund has one condition. It can only be accessed if there is proof that someone is trying to steal Evangeline's kitchen from you. If you have found this letter, I believe you have that proof. Call Arthur. Show him what you have found. He will help you activate the fund. Use the money to protect yourself, to protect the restaurant, to fight. This is your weapon, Chloe. Use it wisely. I love you, my girl. Always and forever, Grandma Evie. The letter blurs in front of me. I am crying, hot tears tracking down my cheeks. And I don't try to stop them. She knew. She knew this could happen. She knew I might need help. And she made sure I had it. Even from the other side, she is still protecting me. I wipe my eyes and unfold the second sheet. It's a certificate from Chase Bank dated January 2015. Evangeline Landry Family Trust. Principal $50,000. The third sheet is a business card. Arthur Pendleton, attorney at law, Pendleton and Associates. Below the name, a phone number. I sit there for a long time holding the letter. $50,000. More than enough to hire the best lawyers in New Orleans. More than enough to fight Liam and Julian Vance in court. More than enough to protect everything Grandma built. But more than anything, it is proof that she believed in me, that she trusted me to carry on her legacy, that she knew I would fight. I fold the letter carefully and put it back in the book along with the certificate and the card. Then I stand up, walk to the window and look down at the street. Out there somewhere, Liam is with Mia, convinced he is one. Convinced I am too weak, too broken, too scared to stop him. But he's wrong. Grandma gave me the weapon. Now I just have to use it. Tomorrow I will call Arthur Pendleton. I will show him the lab report, the emails, the forged signatures, and then I will start fighting back. It is Wednesday, February 21st, just past 3:00 p.m. when I walk through the glass doors of Pendleton and Associates on Street Charles Avenue. The building is pre-war brick, high ceilings, ornamental molding, the kind of place that smells like polished mahogany and old law books. A silver-haired receptionist looks up and smiles. "You must be Chloe Landry. Mr. Pendleton is expecting you." She leads me down a hallway lined with framed diplomas and black and white photos of historic New Orleans. My heart is beating fast. I clutch my purse, which holds Grandma's letter, the lab report, the emails, the divorce papers, all tucked inside a manila envelope. We stop at a wooden door. "Chloe Landry is here," the receptionist announces. "Send her in." A warm, firm voice calls out. Arthur Pendleton is exactly as I imagined. Mid-60s, silver hair combed back, wire-rimmed glasses, a tailored gray suit that has seen better days, but still fits with dignity. He extends a hand. "Chloe," he says. The way he says my name like he's known me all my life tightens my throat. "Please sit." I sink into a leather chair. He sits across from me, hands steepled. "You look just like her," he says quietly. Same eyes, same fire. I blink hard. "You knew her well." 40 years. She came to me in 1984 when she was opening Evangeline's. We became friends. She was one of the strongest women I've ever known. She talked about you constantly. How proud she was. My chest aches. "Did she tell you about the trust fund?" "Yes," he says, his expression turning serious. 10 years ago, she set it up with money she'd saved over 30 years. $50,000. She made me promise not to tell anyone, not even you, unless someone tried to take Evangeline from you. I nod slowly. Someone is. I pull the manila envelope from my purse and set it on the desk. Arthur opens it carefully, taking out each document. First, Grandma's letter. He reads it slowly, his jaw clenching. Then, the lab report. His eyes widen at the word EPIAC. Next, the divorce papers with the forged signature. Finally, Julian Vance's emails. He reads every line, his face darkening with each page. When he finishes, he looks up at me. "Chloe," he says, his voice rigid with anger. "This isn't just fraud. This is attempted murder." "I know," I say quietly. "That's why I'm here. I need help." Arthur leans forward. "You have me and you have Evie. Even now, she knew someone might come for the restaurant. That's why she created the fund with that specific trigger condition. It can only be activated with proof of theft or coercion regarding Evangeline's." He taps the documents, and this is clear, documented, irrefutable proof. Relief floods me so I can access the money. "Yes," he says, "but we have to act fast. I'm going to file an emergency petition with the Orleans Parish Civil District Court today. We will ask for 3 things. First, a temporary restraining order freezing all marital assets, including Evangeline's. That will prevent Liam from selling or transferring the property. Second, the immediate activation of the trust fund. So, you have financial resources. And third, an investigation into Liam Mercer's fraudulent activities." My heart races. How long will an emergency petition take? With evidence this solid, a judge can rule in 48 hours. Once granted, Liam won't be able to touch Evangeline's, and you will have full access to the $50,000. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. "And the poisoning?" Arthur's expression darkens. "That is a criminal matter. The court can mandate an investigation, but you'll have to work with the police. You have a contact there. Think of Tara. Detective Tara Brooks." "Yes," I say. "But," Arthur nods. "Because as soon as we file this petition, Liam is going to notice a freeze on the assets. He's going to panic. And panic people do dangerous things. You need someone watching your back. I have someone, I say. I leave his office an hour later with a copy of the emergency petition in my purse and a court date set for Friday morning. Walking to my car, the late afternoon sun breaking through the clouds. I feel something I haven't felt in weeks. Oh, Grandma protected me even after she died. She gave me the weapon I needed, but Liam is still out there plotting. Dangerous. I need someone to help me catch him red-handed. I pull out my phone and dial Tara's number. It is Saturday, February 24th, just past 11 a.m. I am sliding into a corner booth at District Donuts on Magazine Street, ordering a black coffee. It's been 10 days since Detective Tara Brooks stopped me from confronting Liam and Mia. Now I am here because I finally have concrete proof. Yesterday, the court granted Arthur's emergency petition. Liam can no longer touch Evangeline's kitchen. The restraining order is in effect and Grandma's trust fund is active. But a restraining order isn't enough. I need Liam in prison. Tara clears throat. Walks through the door at 11:15, dressed in jeans and a leather jacket, moving with that same alert posture. She spots me and slides into the booth. Chloe, she says quietly. How are you holding up? I'm holding up because you stopped me that day, I say. Thank you. He nods. What did you find? I pull out a thick manila folder and slide it across the table. I found a lot more than an affair. Liam has been systematically poisoning me for 3 months. He conspired with a corporate buyer named Julian Vance to steal my restaurant through fraud, and he's planning something worse. Tara's expression shifts into pure professional focus as she opens the folder. I watch her eyes widen at the toxicology report. Her jaw tightens as she reads the emails. My God, Tara mutters. How long was he doing this? 3 months. November to February. Every morning he put Ipecac in my coffee. I thought I was just sick. All that time he was weakening me so I'd be too exhausted to fight when he stole the restaurant. Tara reads the emails out loud softly. Make sure she is weak enough to sign. The Ipecac is working. She's losing weight. She puts the papers down and looks at me with sheer fury. This is attempted murder. Poisoning someone to coerce them is aggravated battery at a minimum. We could be looking at attempted homicide. She taps Julian's email and Julian Vance goes down as an accomplice. Conspiracy, financial exploitation, serious prison time. There's more, I say, pulling out the forged divorce petition, the $2,800,000 appraisal, and the fake fertility documents Liam gave Mia. Tara reviews everything methodically. The two men. This is one of the most well-documented cases of domestic abuse and fraud I've seen in 10 years. Tara exhales slowly. Do you want me to arrest Liam right now? I shake my head. Arthur says the evidence is solid but circumstantial regarding the poisoning. The lab proves there was Ipecac in the coffee but not that Liam put it there. The emails show Julian wanted to buy the restaurant but not that Liam was actively coercing me. If we arrest him now, his lawyer will argue reasonable doubt. I lean forward. I need direct proof. A video of Liam poisoning my coffee. Audio of him confessing or catching him committing a new crime. Something undeniable. Tara nods. We set a trap. Install hidden cameras in the house. Louisiana is a one-party consent state for audio, so you can record conversations as long as you're a party to them or record what happens in your own home since it's marital property. Get him to talk. Ask careful questions. And Julian and my sister, I ask, my jaw tightening. Follow them. Document their meetings. If you catch Liam, Julian, and Mia together discussing the plan, that's conspiracy. 3 people coordinating a fraud. That's bulletproof. Tara squeezes my hand. We're going to nail him, Chloe. Promise you. But act smart. If Liam figures out, before we have airtight proof, he could escalate. If he panics, he might do something worse. She gives me her personal cell number again. If anything goes wrong, call 911, then me. I'm running background checks on Julian Vance. You buy the cameras. We're building a case. It is Wednesday, February 28th. Just before 10 p.m. I am sitting on my bed with my laptop open and headphones on, reviewing footage from the hidden camera I installed 4 days ago. It's tiny. hidden inside a picture frame on Liam's desk. I bought it on Amazon for $40. It records video and audio straight to a cloud account Liam doesn't know exists. I've been reviewing the footage every night. Mostly it's just him typing emails, but tonight I find something. The timestamp is the 27th of February 2024, 14:47. Yesterday afternoon, Liam is alone in the office, phone pressed to his ear. I turn up the volume. His voice comes through clearly. "Ray, it's Liam Mercer. We met last month at the contractor's mixer in Meaty." A male voice on the other end. Muffled but audible. "Yeah, I remember. What's up?" "I need you to do a job," Liam says, leaning back in his chair. "At a restaurant, Evangeline's Kitchen on Magazine Street." "Bae, what kind of job?" "Gas line inspection," Liam says smoothly. "But I need you to do something specific. I need you to loosen one of the valves. Not much, just enough for a slow leak. Something that won't be noticed immediately." A long silence on the other end. "You serious?" "Dead serious. And I'll pay you $5,000 in cash. No receipt, no paper trail, just you, me, and the job." Another pause. "If there's a leak and someone's inside, that's the point, Ray." Liam interrupts. His voice is cold, calm, like he's ordering takeout. "I need you to do it the night of October 28th around 8 p.m. I'll make sure she's alone in the kitchen after closing." My blood runs cold. She re-asks. "Who is she?" "My wife," Liam says, "and I need to make sure she doesn't walk out." Hit pause. My hands are shaking so badly I almost dropped the laptop. I rewind 10 seconds, play it again. "I need to make sure she doesn't walk out." Play it a third time, a fourth. Each time the words hit me like a physical blow. Liam isn't just planning to steal my restaurant. He's planning to kill me. He is hiring someone to cause a gas leak to blow up the restaurant with me inside it. October 28th, our wedding anniversary. Hit play again. On screen, Ray's voice returns, hesitant. "Man, I don't know. That's highly dangerous. If someone dies, they'll trace it." "They won't trace it to me." Liam cuts in. "It'll look like an accident. Old building, faulty gas pipe, tragic explosion. Fire inspector closes it as an accident. My wife is gone. I inherit the restaurant as a grieving widower. Sell the lot the next day. Clean, simple, and you get $5,000. I need to think about it," Ree finally says. "You have until March 15th, Liam replies. "After that, the offer expires. Call me." The line clicks. Liam sets the phone down, stretches, and goes back to typing on his laptop as if he didn't just put a hit out on his wife. I close the laptop and sit in the dark staring at nothing. October 28th, that is 8 months away. 8 months he planned to live with me, kiss me, pretend to love me while plotting my murder. I feel like I'm going to vomit. I stumble to the bathroom and splash cold water on my face. The woman in the mirror looks like a stranger, pale, terrified. But beneath the fear is a white, hot, incandescent rage. Liam poisoned me. He forged my signature. He conspired with Julian Vance. He slept with my sister. And now he wants me dead. Erased so he can take everything I have and start over with Mia. No, I will not let him. I export the video file. Save 3 copies. 1 on my phone, 1 on a flash drive hidden in my purse, 1 on a secure cloud. Text Tara. Have something urgent. She replies in 30 seconds. My office. 7 a.m. Liam hired someone to kill me. Type back. I have it on video. 3 dots appear. My God. Chloe, are you safe right now? He's asleep. I'm fine. I locked the bedroom door. I sit in the dark listening to my husband breathe in the next room and I realize something. I'm no longer afraid. I'm ready. October 28th is 8 months away. But Liam doesn't know that I know. And by the time he figures it out, it will be too late. It is Tuesday, March 5th, just past 4:00 p.m. I am sitting in the office of Anderson Investigations in downtown New Orleans. Tom Anderson, a 50-something PI with close-cropped gray hair, slides a thick folder across his messy desk. Preliminary report. Tom says, I've been tailing them for 5 days. They aren't exactly discreet. Open the folder. Photographs. Liam and Mia walking into the Roosevelt Hotel, sitting in a corner booth at a cafe, holding hands, kissing in a grocery store parking lot. They meet 3 times a week, Tom says. Always at the hotel, always between 2 and 5 p.m. When you're at the restaurant, they check in under Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. He pays cash. What else? Ask, turning the photos. Your sister is seeing a fertility specialist. Tom says, Tulane Fertility Center. She goes every Tuesday and Thursday. I look up. Fertility specialist. She's trying to get pregnant. Tom pulls out another photo. Mia leaving the clinic holding a folder. Seems serious. They act like a couple planning a long-term future. She talks about opening a place called Mia's Table. He talks about moving to Nashville. They aren't hiding from each other, just from you. Close my eyes. Mia wants a child with him. Does she know he's married to me? Shrugs. Hard to say for sure, but judging by her behavior. Tom slides one more photo across the desk. Took this yesterday. They were at a coffee shop. Liam was showing her a paper. She was smiling. Looked official. Medical documents, maybe. I look closely at the photo. I zoom in with my phone camera. The paper Liam is holding has a logo. Louisiana Wellness Clinic underneath in small print. Patient Liam Mercer. Diagnosis: low sperm count due to prior injury. Treatment: testosterone therapy to improve sperm quality. Estimated completion: December 2024. My heart stops. I need to make a call. I say, pulling out my phone. Dial Tara. She picks up on the second ring. Tara, I need you to check something. Liam's medical records. Specifically, I need to know if he ever had a vasectomy. Why? Because I think he's lying to Mia. He gave her fake medical documents saying he's being treated for low sperm count. I need to know the truth. Hang on, Tara says. I hear typing. Since we opened the criminal investigation last week, I have a warrant for his records. Give me a minute. B. Liam Michael Mercer. Date of birth: the 12th of April 1988. My God, Chloe. What? He had a vasectomy. Tara says slowly. The 15th of August 2019 at Tulane Medical Center. Permanent sterilization procedure. No reversals on record. 2019. 3 years before he married me. 5 years before he promised Mia a baby. He lied. I whisper. He told me he just wasn't ready for kids yet. And if he gave your sister fake medical records saying he's in fertility treatment, he's lying to her too. Tara says. I hang up, my hands trembling. Tom is watching me. Bad news. He had a vasectomy 5 years ago. He's been lying to us both. I open my laptop and access the cloud where I stored Liam's texts. I find a message to Julian Vance from February 25th. Keep them hopeful, man. Hope is the best drug. As long as Chloe thinks I'll give her kids someday, she won't leave. And as long as Mia thinks she's getting pregnant, she'll do whatever I ask. Izzy. I read it 3 times. My vision blurs. Liam doesn't love me. He doesn't love Mia. He doesn't love anyone. He has been using us both. Playing us with promises he never intended to keep. Poisoning me to steal my restaurant. Lying to Mia to use her as a pawn. And all the while planning to kill me, inherit the money and vanish. Mia is just like me. The difference is she doesn't know it yet. Keep tailing them. Tell Tom. I need everything. Photos, recordings, schedules, everything. 7.5 months have passed since I found that video. 7 months of planning, waiting, gathering evidence, and preparing for this exact moment. After I gave the video to Tara in March, we made a plan, a long one. Tara wanted to arrest Liam immediately, but I convinced her to wait. If we arrested him too early, he'd get a good lawyer. He'd claim he never intended to go through with it, that it was just talk. But if we waited, if we let him believe his plan was still in motion, if we caught him at the scene expecting me to die, we'd have him dead to rights. Conspiracy, attempted murder. No room for interpretation, so we waited. Tara tracked down Ray Cobb, the hitman, and interviewed him secretly. Ray confessed everything. Liam paid him $5,000 cash to loosen the gas valve at Evangeline. Ray was supposed to do it 3 days before October 28th. Then Liam would ensure I was alone in the kitchen that night. The gas would leak. I'd turn on the stove. Accidental explosion. Tragic widower inherits the restaurant. Except I know. And now 3 days before October 28th. It's time to make sure the plan doesn't work. It is Friday, October 25th, just past 2 p.m. I am standing in my kitchen, phone to my ear. Energy Gas Customer Service. This is Brenda. How can I help you? Hi, I say, keeping my voice calm. I'm calling from Evangeline's kitchen on Magazine Street. I think there might be a gas leak. I've been smelling gas near the stove for 2 days. Ma'am, we take this very seriously. I'll dispatch a technician immediately. 50 minutes later, a white energy van pulls up. A man in a blue uniform walks in with a gas detector. Eddie Parker, he says. I lead him to the kitchen. He scans the pipes. After a moment, he frowns. Ma'am, you were right to call this valve. He points to a brass fitting behind the stove. It's loosened. Not enough to cause an immediate massive leak, but if you'd turned the stove on full blast for a while, it would have leaked fast. Could have caused an explosion. My stomach tightens, but I keep my face neutral. Can you fix it? I'll tighten it right now. He works for 20 minutes. When he's done, he stands up. All tightened. No leaks. But I have to ask, do you know how that got loosened? I don't know. Maybe someone bumped it. He gives me a skeptical look. Well, it's fixed. I'll file a report. Actually, I say quickly, pulling cash from my purse. Can you do me a favor? My husband is really paranoid about these things. If he finds out I called the gas company, he'll make a huge scene. Could you not file the report? Just keep it between us. Eddie looks at the money, then at me. Ma'am, I'm supposed to file every service call. I know, I say, but it's fixed. I just want to avoid drama at home. He hesitates, then pockets the cash. All right, but if you smell gas again, you call immediately. Once he leaves, I breathe a long sigh. Step 1 done. The valve is fixed. But Liam and Ray don't know that. They think the bomb is still armed. However, I need insurance. I need to be able to control the gas line myself in case anything goes wrong. So I make another call. David Walsh, a retired gas engineer Tara recommended. Highly discreet. David arrives at 6 p.m. He installs a smart motorized shut-off valve behind the stove synced to an app on my phone. 2 hours of work, $1,000, he says. I hand him the cash from Grandma's trust fund. Download this app, he says, handing me his phone. See that red button? Emergency shut off. You press that, the valve closes instantly. No gas flows. Stove won't light. Everything stops. Perfect. I test it 3 times. The valve clicks shut, then opens. The kitchen is safe. The valve is under my control, and Liam has no idea. I walk to the front window and look out at Magazine Street. In 3 days, Liam will walk through that door expecting me to die, expecting to inherit everything. But he is wrong. October 28th won't be the day I die. It will be the day Liam Mercer is caught. And I will be the one holding the match. It is Sunday, October 27th at 7:00 p.m. I am sitting alone in the back office of Evangeline's. Tomorrow is October 28th. Tomorrow is the day Liam planned to kill me. Tomorrow is the day it all ends. The restaurant is closed on Sundays. Outside, a heavy Louisiana rain is falling. I open a burner text app on my phone. I'm going to use it to set a trap for my sister. A part of me, that stupid sentimental part, wants to call her, warn her. Tell her Liam is using her, lying to her, and will abandon her the second he gets the money. Tell her about the vasectomy, the fake medical records. But I can't because Mia made her choices. She chose to sleep with my husband. She chose to help him steal my restaurant. And tomorrow night, she will pay the consequences. I take a deep breath and type, mimicking Liam's exact tone. Babe, Chloe threw together a last-minute anniversary dinner for tomorrow night, 028, at 8 p.m. at Evangeline to try and win me back. She invited my mom and a bunch of friends. It's actually perfect with so many people there. The accident will look even more real, and no one will suspect a thing. Show up as a guest. Play nice with Chloe. And when it happens after everyone leaves around 10, we'll both have an alibi because we were in a crowd. Don't call me. Chloe has been watching me like a hawk. Trust me, babe. After tomorrow night we're free. Love you. I read it 3 times. Sounds exactly like him. I hit send. 5 minutes later my phone vibrates. A reply from Mia. "'Kay baby. I'll be there after tomorrow. We'll have everything, right?" I stare at the message and something inside me breaks. We'll have everything. She really believes it. She really thinks Liam loves her, that they are going to open Mia's table and live happily ever after with my money. She has no idea. Text back. "We'll have everything, babe. Promise. See you tomorrow. Look gorgeous. And act surprised when you walk in, Mia. I will. Love you." I delete the app. The trap is set. Tomorrow night, October 28th at 8 p.m., I will have everyone I need in a single room. And when I am done, Liam Mercer and Mia Landry will be in handcuffs. It is Monday, October 28th, 6 a.m. I wake up, reach for my phone, open the gas safe app and hit the red button. Emergency shut off. The valve at Evangeline's clicks shut. 3 away. No gas, no explosion. Liam's plan is dead before it starts. I dress in black jeans and a gray sweater, fold Grandma's apron into my bag, and drive through the empty rain streets of New Orleans to the restaurant. Today I am not cooking a dinner. I am building a case. 7 courses, 7 sins, 7 pieces of evidence that will destroy Liam Mercer. I write the menu on the chalkboard in the dining room. First course, bitter coffee, poisoning Ipecac. Second course, the forged contract fraud. Third course, broken promises, the vasectomy lie. Fourth course, betrayal, the affair texts. Fifth course, the murder plot, the gas leak hitman. Sixth course, ambition, greed, buyer emails. Seventh course, the truth, justice, reckoning. I spend the day prepping. For the first course, a bitter, strong Corey coffee served on a tray next to the printed Ochsner lab report showing 15 milliliters of IPAC. The second course, a deconstructed green salad plated over a photocopy of the forged sale contract for $2,800,000. The third, blackened red fish, served alongside a printout of Liam's 2019 vasectomy record. The fourth, duck Creole, garnished with printed transcripts of Liam and Mia's texts. The fifth, Grandma's seafood gumbo, a dish that takes hours of love and patience, served with a printed transcript of the hidden camera audio. I need you to loosen the valve. I need to make sure she doesn't walk out. The sixth course, bananas Foster, placed next to Julian Vance's emails detailing the offshore transfer. The seventh course, a single piece of dark chocolate on a white plate. Bitter, undeniable. By 5 p.m. in the dining room is set. 15 place settings. White tablecloths, candles, name cards. I seat Liam at the head of the table, Mia to his right, Julian Vance to his left. My seat is at the opposite end, the power position. At 6:30, I change into a dark maroon dress. Elegant, confident. At 7 I light the candles. The room glows warm and inviting like a trap. My phone buzzes. Liam, on my way, baby. See you soon, Mia. Almost there. Nervous but excited. Smile. Cold, thin smile. You should be nervous. At 7:30, I pour myself a glass of wine. I don't drink it. I just hold it, feeling the weight. The party is about to begin and Liam has no idea he is the main course. The dining room of Evangeline's kitchen glowed with a soft amber light of 24 candles, their flames flickering in the cool October breeze drifting through a cracked window near the bar. I stood behind the hostess stand, my hands steady. The air smelled of roasted garlic, fresh thyme, and the rich, dark awe of the gumbo simmering in the back. At exactly 8:05 p.m., the front door swung open and Liam walked in. He wore the charcoal gray suit I bought him for our first anniversary. He crossed the room in 3 long strides, wrapped his arms around me, and kissed my forehead. "Happy anniversary, baby," he murmured. I forced myself to smile, playing the adoring wife one last time. "Thanks for being here," I whispered, my fingers briefly brushing the gas shut-off app on my phone hidden in my pocket. At 8:10 Mia walked in. Her red hair was pulled into an elegant updo. Wearing an emerald green cocktail dress clearly meant to catch Liam's eye. She stopped in the doorway, feigning perfect surprise. "Chloe, you invited me," she said lightly. I smiled, completely devoid of warmth. "Course I invited you, Mia. Your family after all." Her eyes flicked to Liam for a fraction of a second. At 8:15, Julian Vance arrived, silver hair, immaculate navy suit. "Liam, good to see you," Julian said smoothly, patting his shoulder. "Chloe, thanks for the invite. Your grandmother's restaurant is legendary." I nodded politely, noting how Liam's smile tightened. By 8:05, all 15 guests had arrived. Liam's mother, Beatrice, radiating pride. My Aunt Carmen, Detective Tara Brooks in a simple blazer, her badge hidden. My lawyer Arthur Pendleton. At 8:50, everyone was seated around the long rectangular table. I stood at the head of the table, tapping my wine glass. The room fell silent. "Thank you all for being here tonight," I began, my voice clear and steady. 2 years ago, Liam and I stood before many of you and promised to love and honor each other. Tonight I wanted to celebrate that promise. I've prepared a very special 5-course dinner inspired by my grandmother Evie's recipes. But more than that, I have a story to tell you. A story about trust, betrayal, and how far someone will go to protect what they love. I saw Liam's smile falter. I saw his hand tighten around his wine glass. He knew something was wrong. "The first course will be served in a moment," I said, pointing to the kitchen door. "And with it, the first chapter of tonight's story." I locked eyes with Liam. "I think you will all find it very revealing." I walked to the kitchen and returned carrying a silver tray. I placed a white porcelain mug directly in front of Liam, steam curling off the surface. For 3 months, 90 consecutive days. My husband made me coffee every morning, I said. My voice deliberate. He was so loving, so attentive. But what he didn't tell me was that every cup contained 15 milliliters of Ipax syrup, a drug designed to induce violent vomiting. I pulled the folded toxicology report from my pocket and held it up. "This is from Ochsner Medical Lab, dated February 19th. Confirms the poisoning." Liam systematically weakened me so I wouldn't be able to fight what came next. Liam's face went pale. His knuckles turned white, gripping the table. But I didn't give him time to speak. I moved to the laptop on the side table and projected the first email onto the wall behind me. "The second truth is about theft," I said cleanly. "This is an email from Julian Vance, dated November 3rd. It says, make sure she is weak enough to sign before October 28th. And here is Liam's reply. The IPAC is working. She's losing weight and barely has the energy to run the kitchen. By April we'll have it all." I turned to Julian, whose face had gone rigid with poorly concealed fury. "You offered $2 million, $800,000 for my restaurant, Mr. Vance. You thought I'd never find out." Julian stood up abruptly. But Tara Brooks stepped forward from her position near the door, her hand resting on her badge. "Sit down," she ordered quietly. "You aren't going anywhere." I split the projector screen between 2 medical documents. The third truth is the lies Liam told my sister. I turned to Mia, whose confusion was written plainly on her face. On the left is a fertility report from Louisiana Wellness Clinic, stating Liam has a low sperm count and is undergoing treatment. On the right is his actual medical record from Tulane Medical Center dated the 15th of August 2019. Vasectomy performed 5 years ago. I let the silence stretch for 3 agonizing seconds. Louisiana Wellness Clinic doesn't exist, Mia. Liam fabricated that document to keep you hopeful, to keep you under his control. He never intended to give you a child. He was using you. Mia's face crumbled. Tears spilled down her cheeks as she turned to Liam. "Is it true?" she whispered. Liam said nothing, a muscle pulsing in his jaw. "The fourth truth," I continued as a cascade of photos hit the screen. Liam and Mia kissing in the Roosevelt Hotel, holding hands in the quarter. These were taken by a private investigator. My sister and my husband carrying on an affair while living under my roof. Beatrice Mercer let out a choked sob, her hands flying to her mouth. Liam, how could you? He gasped. Mom, this isn't. Chloe is twisting everything. Liam finally found his voice low and desperate. Am I? I pressed play on the audio file. Liam's voice filled the room through the laptop speakers. I need you to do a job for me, Ray. Loosen the gas valve behind the stove. Enough for a slow leak. Make it look like an accident. I'll pay you $5,000 in cash. October 28th. After 8 p.m. the recording ended. I held up my phone displaying the remote gas shut-off app. The fifth truth is attempted murder. I said Liam hired Ray Cobb to sabotage this kitchen. Tonight, he planned for this building to explode at 8 p.m., killing me and everyone in this room, including his own mother, and passing it off as an accident. Beatrice collapsed forward, sobbing, and Aunt Carmen rushed to hold her. Liam jumped to his feet, his face flushed. I didn't mean for anyone else to get hurt, he shouted. It was just supposed to be. He cut himself off, realizing too late what he had just admitted. I projected the final piece of evidence. The text messages between Liam and Mia. The sixth truth is ambition. When Chloe is gone, we'll open Mia's table. Just you and me. Mia covered her face with her hands, her shoulders shaking with sobs. I set my phone gently on the table. And the seventh truth, I said, dropping my voice to something cold and final, is justice. Tara Brooke stepped forward, her badge now fully visible. Liam Mercer, you are under arrest for attempted murder, conspiracy to commit fraud, and solicitation of arson. Julian Vance, Tara continued, you are under arrest as an accomplice to fraud. She pulled the handcuffs from her belt and locked them around Liam's wrists. He stood paralyzed, all the blood drained from his face. Detective James Torres entered through the back door and handcuffed Julian with the same precise efficiency. You have the right to remain silent. Tara began reading the Miranda rights. I watched as they led Liam toward the door. At 9:28 p.m., his head bowed. His shoulders slumped in total defeat. I felt something inside me finally release. Not triumph, but the quiet satisfaction of knowing justice had been served. Mia was still collapsed at the table. Beatrice reached for my hand, her eyes swollen. Chloe, I am so sorry, she whispered. I had no idea. I squeezed her hand gently. I know, Beatrice. This was never your fault. When the door closed behind Liam and Julian at 9:30 p.m., the dining room fell silent, broken only by Mia's crying. I looked around at the faces of my guests, shocked, grieving, but alive. Every single one of them alive. It's over, I said quietly. It's finally over. On the 18th of December 2024, exactly 7 weeks after that night, I sat in the front row of courtroom 412 in the Orleans Parish Criminal District Court. I watched as Judge Margaret Whitmore took the bench, her face grave and impassive. The trial had lasted 3 weeks. The room was packed with reporters from the Times-Picayune. Arthur Pendleton sat beside me. Tara Brooks sat 2 rows back. Beatrice Mercer was absent. She had publicly disowned her son in a written statement. Judge Whitmore adjusted her glasses and looked down at the 3 defendants seated at separate tables. The court will now pronounce sentencing, she began. Mr. Mercer, please stand. Liam stood up slowly. The orange jumpsuit was a stark contrast to his expensive suits. He looked gaunt and pale after 2 months in the Orleans Parish prison. Liam Michael Mercer, you have been found guilty by a jury of your peers of attempted murder in the first degree, aggravated battery by poisoning, conspiracy to commit fraud, solicitation of arson, and identity fraud. The evidence presented, including recorded audio, toxicology reports, and the testimony of multiple witnesses, including your co-defendant, Mia Landry, has proven beyond a reasonable doubt that you engaged in a calculated months-long campaign to poison your wife, steal her business, and murder her in a staged explosion that would have claimed the lives of 14 innocent victims. You pause. You are sentenced to 12 years in the Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola without the possibility of parole for the first 8 years. Furthermore, you are ordered to pay $500,000 in restitution to Miss Chloe Landry from the liquidation of your personal assets. All ownership rights to Evangeline's kitchen are hereby terminated. Liam said nothing. He slumped back into his chair as the bailiff stepped forward. Judge Whitmore turned to Julian. Mr. Vance, please stand. You are sentenced to 8 years in state prison, followed by 3 years of probation for conspiracy to commit fraud and complicity in attempted murder. You are permanently barred from holding any executive position in the hospitality sector in Louisiana for 15 years. Finally, her gaze shifted to Mia. Miss Landry, please stand. Mia stood up, trembling. Mia Landry, you have pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact and obstruction of justice. The court recognizes your full cooperation with law enforcement and your crucial testimony against Mr. Mercer. However, your willingness to serve as an alibi demonstrates a profound moral failure. You are sentenced to 2 years of probation, 400 hours of community service, and mandatory psychological counseling. You are prohibited from contacting Miss Chloe Landry without her express written consent. Mia nodded, tears streaming down her face. Thank you, Your Honor, she whispered. As the gavel fell, I remained seated for a long moment, feeling strangely hollow. Tara sat beside me. You did it, Chloe. Justice was served. You can move on now. I nodded slowly. I know, but it doesn't feel the way I thought it would. It never does. She squeezed my shoulder. But you survived. That's what matters. Arthur handed me a sealed envelope as we stood to leave. This came for you yesterday, he said from Mia. I opened it later that afternoon. Chloe, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I was foolish, selfish, and blind. I will live with what I did for the rest of my life. I'm so sorry. I folded the letter fully and set it aside. I didn't reply. Liam lost his freedom. Julian lost his career. Mia lost her family and I had my restaurant back, my safety restored, my justice delivered. But I had also lost the sister I thought I knew, the marriage I believed in, and the innocence of trusting that the people you love will never destroy you. The sun rose over the Gulf Coast at 6:15 a.m. on the 15th of May, 2025. Casting golden light over the wet sand of Gulf shores as I walked barefoot toward the water. Grandma Eve's old recipe book clutched to my chest. I had woken up at 4:30 that Sunday morning with an overwhelming need to return to this place. The place Evie used to bring me as a child when I was sad or scared. The ocean washes it all clean. My girl, she used to say, no matter how much it hurts, the waves keep coming and life moves on. It had been 6 months since the sentencing. I had done exactly what Evie taught me to do. The $50,000 from the trust fund and the $500,000 in restitution had given me the power to transform everything Liam had tried to destroy. I paid off every debt Evangeline's kitchen had. I renovated the dining room with warm terracotta walls, expanded the seating, installed a state-of-the-art kitchen, and commissioned a mural of Evie on the back wall. Her hands covered in flour, smiling eternally. But the renovation I was most proud of wasn't physical. In February, I founded the Evangeline Legacy Fund, a non-profit offering $10,000 grants to women escaping domestic violence or financial abuse who wanted to start businesses in the food and hospitality sector. In March, we awarded our first 3 grants. Seeing those women speak about their hopes for the future made me cry harder than I had in months. Not from pain, but from healing. Evangeline's reopened in April with a menu blending Grandma's classics with new dishes I had created. Aunt Carmen became my partner. By late April, New Orleans Magazine had featured us, and we were nominated for Best Family Restaurant of 2025. And yet, despite the success, there was still a hollow place inside me that hadn't healed. A week ago, I saw Mia standing across Magazine Street, hands in her pockets, staring at the illuminated windows of the restaurant. She didn't try to come in. She just watched for 10 minutes, then walked away. The next morning, white roses appeared on my doorstep. I didn't respond. I wasn't ready. Maybe I never would be. Standing on the beach, my phone vibrated. An email from Elena Ramirez. Dear Miss Landry, I am 29 years old. 2 months ago, I left an abusive marriage with nothing but my 7-year-old daughter. I am living in a women's shelter in New Orleans, and a counselor told me about the Evangeline Legacy Fund. I've always dreamed of working in a professional kitchen. I saw you are hiring prep cooks. I promise I will not let you down. Will you give me a chance? I read it twice, feeling something warm and bright shift in my chest. I replied, Dear Elena, it would be an honor to meet you. Come to Evangeline on Monday at 10 a.m. We will start together. I hit send and looked out at the waves breaking against the shoreline. I thought of Liam locked in his cell at Angola. I thought of Mia living alone with her guilt. I thought of the restaurant I almost lost, the life I almost lost. And then I thought of Elena, of Aunt Carmen, of the customers who returned week after week for the warmth and safety within our walls. I opened the recipe book to the first page where Evie had written, Never let anyone steal your dreams. I traced the words with my finger. I didn't know what the future held. I hadn't forgiven Mia, and maybe I never would. But I had forgiven myself for trusting the wrong person. For believing love would protect me when sometimes love is exactly what hurts the most. Evangeline's kitchen was no longer just a restaurant. It was a sanctuary. Proof that women like me, like Elena, can survive anything and still build something beautiful. The sun climbed higher over the water, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. I felt something I hadn't felt in over a year. Not the absence of pain but the presence of purpose. I tucked the recipe book under my arm and walked back toward my car, ready to return to New Orleans, ready to meet Elena on Monday morning, ready to start again. And to you listening to this story, remember this. God gave me 3 chances to see the truth before October 28th. The toxicology report, the hidden camera, and Mia's confession. And each time I chose to act with wisdom instead of blind rage. When family betrayal cuts the deepest, when the people you love become the ones who hurt you the most, remember that God doesn't just give us the strength to survive. He gives us the clarity to see the path forward. I turned family betrayal into justice. Not because I wanted to destroy Liam, but because I wanted to protect every woman who might come after me. Don't be like I was those first 3 months. Blind to the signs, too trusting, too willing to believe that love alone would keep me safe. Family betrayal doesn't announce itself with warning signs written in blood. It whispers in cups of coffee, in forged signatures, in the smile of someone calling you baby while planning your funeral. When you feel something isn't right, trust that instinct. My advice to you, protect your finances, document everything, and never let love make you so vulnerable that you lose yourself. True justice, the kind that lets you sleep at night, comes from standing in a courtroom and watching the truth do its work. And most importantly, when betrayal shatters your world, remember that rebuilding doesn't mean forgetting the pain. It means transforming it into purpose. Evangeline's kitchen doesn't just feed hungry customers anymore.